At dawn, Mama Ladi found him standing outside, staring at the forest. Bala, she cried, you went out at night? Are you mad? Do you want the spirits to carry you away? I saw someone, he said quietly. Someone came. They touched father's walking stick and went toward the old compound. Her face turned pale. You must never go there. Why, Mama? She looked away, because that place has only brought sorrow to this family. He waited for her to say more, but she went inside without another word. That afternoon, while she was at the market, Bala went behind the hut to where his father's old things were kept in a clay pot. He found the hunting knife, rusty but still sharp, and slung it on his waist. He had made up his mind he would follow the footprints again that night, this time all the way. When the moon rose, he crept outside, careful not to wake his mother. The air was thick and cool. The ground glowed faintly under the moonlight, and there they were again, fresh footprints, exactly where they had been before. He followed them past the edge of their compound, past the yam field, and into the narrow path that led towards the old family land. The deeper he went, the quieter the night became. Even the crickets seemed to hold their breath. Branches brushed his face, and dry leaves crunched under his feet. The footprints grew fainter in places, then clearer again. He walked for what felt like forever, until the path opened into a wide clearing. There it stood, the old family compound. Bala had only vague memories of it. He was 6 when his father died, and after that, his mother refused to come here. The huts were now cracked and hollow. The wooden doors hung crooked. Grass had grown tall, and a great baobab tree spread its branches over the center. He stepped inside slowly. The air smelt of dust and old things. His heart thudded in his chest. The footprints continued across the ground and stopped before one of the huts, the biggest one, his father's old room. Bala swallowed hard and pushed the door open. The room was empty, except for a broken stool and a pile of dried leaves. Moonlight poured through the holes in the roof, falling in long silver lines on the floor. He stepped closer and noticed carved marks on the wall, half covered in dust. He brushed the dirt away. The marks formed a strange pattern, a circle, with lines like rays. Beneath it, someone had scratched 3 words. What was stolen? Bala frowned. What was stolen? He whispered. The wind outside shifted, making the old door creak. He turned quickly. Something moved in the corner, a faint shimmer, like light bending in water. Bala froze. The air grew cold. The shimmer grew brighter, taking shape, until he could make out the outline of a man. The figure's face was pale and sad. His eyes looked straight at Bala. For a long moment, neither moved. Then the figure lifted one hand and pointed toward the large tree outside. Bala's breath caught. Who are you? But the figure faded, melting back into the shadows. A sound behind him made him spin around. Bala, a voice hissed. He nearly shouted from shock. Uncle Dogu stood in the doorway, holding a lantern. His eyes were sharp, his face angry. What are you doing here, boy? I saw something. I was following. You should not have come here. Dogo snapped. This place is cursed. Go home. But uncle, I said go. His tone was fierce, but there was something else in his eyes. Fear. Bala hesitated. Dogo grabbed his arm and pulled him outside. If your mother finds out you were here, she will blame me. Don't bring trouble to yourself. When Bala tried to look back at the hut, Dogo tightened his grip. Forget what you saw. Bala nodded weakly. Yes, uncle. When they reached the path, Dogo's lantern flickered. The older man glanced around nervously. You didn't see anyone else, did you? Bala looked at him. Only you. Dogo said nothing more. He dropped the boy off near their compound and walked away quickly into the night. When Bala entered the hut, Mama Ladi was sitting by the fire, waiting. Where have you been? She asked in a trembling voice. Bala hesitated. Nowhere, Mama. Don't lie to me. You followed the footprints again, didn't you? He looked down. I had to know. Tears filled her eyes. You are just like your father, too stubborn to rest. At that moment, a gust of wind swept through the doorway, scattering ashes from the fire. The flame flickered, then went out. In the dimness, Bala thought he heard a voice, soft, broken, whispering from far away. Bala. He froze. Did you hear that? Mama Ladi shook her head, terrified. Hear what? The voice came again, closer this time, echoing faintly from outside. Bala, under the tree. He turned toward the doorway. The moonlight shone on the ground, and there, fresh again, were the same footprints. They led away from the hut, toward the forest, toward the old compound. Mama Ladi gripped his hand tightly. Don't go, she whispered.
but Bala's eyes were fixed on the footprints, glowing faintly in the moonlight. He took a deep breath, feeling his heart hammer against his ribs. He said quietly, "Whoever is calling me, they won't stop until I follow." The night wind rose, carrying the faint scent of rain and something else, something old and familiar. Mama Laddie's voice shook. "Bala, please." But he was already moving toward the door, his shadow stretching long and thin behind him. He stepped outside into the cold night air, following the footprints once more, this time determined to uncover whatever truth waited beneath that great tree in the old compound. And somewhere, deep within the darkness, a whisper answered him, "Come and see."